Hi, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general reading for November 2022. If you are new to seeing one of these readings, this is for, as I said, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. However, as a Sagittarian Sun, if the reading does not resonate with you, please go back and check your Moon and Rising sign. I suggest that for all the signs, okay? General just means we're going to open the cards to see what they say. It's not necessarily for any specific time frame, and I don't know what the story is going to be, okay? I have with me the Radiant White deck. I have done some meditation and shuffling on the Sagittarian sign and glyph. I have the Levita Sibila, and I have the Golden Nostradamus with me, but, you know, that may change depending on what the story is. Hold on one second. I need to light another incense. And then I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started, okay? All right. Alrighty then. Here we go. I am just a bit agog at the fact that we are already rounding out the year of 2022. It just seems like 2020, God, nobody wants to go back through 2020, but it just seems like 2020 was just yesterday. These 2 years have gone by very quickly. You know, I can't speak for anybody else, but it feels to me as though time has sped up. Even though we know that time is a man-made construct, so to speak, right? Time is timeless, right? And in the universe, you know, or in the spiritual realm, there is no timeline, okay? And time is not linear as we think it is. And so it's just kind of a very, very, to me, it's very notable how quickly it seems that the time is going by, okay? I think that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if that's because I'm just older or what. I think even my daughter mentioned it. She's like, oh my God, you know, Mom, time's flying by. So it's not just that I'm older. She's 18. So no, it's not that. Okay. So anyway, that's just an observation that I'm making. We're going to put 9 cards down. Here we go. King of Swords. I don't know if that light's too bright for you. There it is. It's good. The Hermit. The 8 of Wands. Mercury in Sagittarius. Okay. I don't know if this is a guy coming, but if it is, or you're going to hear from him, he's a single man. The Lovers. Okay, and don't get too excited because a card doesn't always mean what you think it does. The 7 of Swords. The Empress. Oh. That is quite interesting. The 10 of Swords. The 10 of Wands. And the 8 of Cups. Well, if this is a romantic situation, first of all, I'm going to say that this guy's not in your league. And the reason why I say that is because you appear as the Empress, but he appears as the King. The Empress does have a mate. It is the Emperor. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say about that. Doesn't mean he's not a nice guy or what have you. I have 2 10s here, and that's notable. I also have 2 8s. 2 8s can mean you and your beloved are going to go on a trip, but it can also mean doubting the sincerity of the word of a male friend. 2 10s speak to the end of a relationship or phase in a relationship, but 2 10s also can mean a change in career and financial circumstances. Okay, so there's several things that could be going on here. It definitely has the feel, so to speak, of what do you call it? A romance. There's a lot of emotion, even though there's no cups here, except for this one. There's a lot of emotion here. What is the energy over the entire reading? It is the 8 of Pentacles. Well, now it's 3 8s, right? We're not going to count that one because it's not actually in the spread, but there's 3 8s. And so the overall meaning of the 8 of Pentacles is the idea of working on something until you get it right, perfecting it. It can be that maybe you work in an environment where you work under somebody, like an apprenticeship, or there's an internship, and you are, busy doing whatever it is you're doing. But it also is the idea of literally making money. Okay? So you can see he's literally making money. Okay. So I have 3 swords, 2 wands, 1, 2, 3 major arcana, and a cup card. Now, by profession, past, present, future, interplay of the cards. By profession, this person would be a soldier or police officer, but he could also be a surgeon, a dentist, he could be a spy, work for the CIA. He could be a writer, an editor, a scientist, a researcher. So any place where there are sharp tools or keen intellect needed to get the job done. To me, the Hermit indicates that the person is alone. So when I said to you it's a single person, the person is single, maybe has been single for quite some time. This person is logical and rational and might, an air sign, so it could be someone, a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarian. Typically represents Aquarius. Someone who kind of has things mapped out on his own. He's given a lot of thought to it. He could be someone who's also very studious, has the ability to think deeply, perhaps maybe even think outside of the box. But this 8 of Wands is an indication of a quick arrival. So if this is not the person showing up quickly, taking a flight, so to speak, arriving, then this is news or messages from this particular male here. Okay? And this is for either same-sex or heterosexual relationships. So whomever's going to take the role of the female and whoever's going to take the role of the male. I'd still say that he's not in your league. I don't care how smart he is, how dashing and handsome and intriguing, he's just not in your league. So we have the Lovers. Now, the Lovers card can be an indication of a soulmate relationship or a relationship in which there's just real harmony between the two people. But the true meaning of the card is a card of choice. It is about making sure that you choose the right path, because you have 2 paths. Making sure that you choose the right path, because once you make one choice, the door closes on the other. Okay? Now, in a relationship, I've seen this card show up when there may be attraction to each other, but in the end, it turns out to be that there's no compatibility, not really, between the two people. And then we see this 10 of Swords, this overkill. So I don't know if this is someone who feels they've been stabbed in the back, or maybe they might even have some back issues, neck, head, shoulder, that kind of a thing. But this card speaks about the darkest before the dawn. Indeed, there is some kind of trip here, because sometimes this can be a trip over water, by water, around water, near water. Okay. But this is telling you that the crisis point has been reached. In other words, it can't get any worse than it's already gotten. And now it's about to change. Okay? The Seven of Swords in the center is an interesting card because most readers just simply say it's about cheating and lying and stealing. That is one of the interpretations. But it sometimes can show up when there are tension, there's arguments, there's misunderstandings within a situation, and there will be more to come of that. It also can speak about postponements and delays, things just not going well. It could be someone who's trying to evade destiny by, trying to sneak away or not take responsibility. It could also be someone who is inclined to take flight from a situation and not face up to the reality of it. I've seen the card show up when it talks about a house move. Okay? But it is a 7. And 7s always indicate a moment of questioning oneself, of doubt. Okay? Now, these 8s can sometimes represent blocks and obstacles too. But whenever the 8 of Wands shows up, that lets you know that that situation is about to move along. The Empress is the mother of the tarot. She's the archetypal mother of the tarot. So she's going to be someone who likes beautiful things, dresses nice, always looks good, is loving, is kind, generous, a very fecund female, someone who's very fertile, and not just in terms of having children, but almost everything that they touch blossoms and grows, so it speaks to abundance. Okay, so I've seen that card show up when it says that there are going to be negotiations coming, or there will be talks coming, and you're going to be able to use this energy and your femininity in order to help smooth the way. All right. It's going from here to this row that completely is just this, none of it really looks good, even if no matter how I look at it, okay, it just doesn't really look that great. And then we come to the 10 of Wands, a struggle, a really difficult time. This can be sometimes taking on responsibilities that you really shouldn't be taking on. This is doing things for other people and then not allowing them to learn their own lessons of cause and effect when they fail or they mess up. This can be the idea that you're taking on too much. And someone feels, I don't want to say burdened, but they feel like they've got a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of things that they're trying to do. And then we come to the 8 of Cups. Now, as a timing, I just said to you, we were talking about time. As a timing, I can only give you somewhat of an indication. And this would be around October 25th, which is the eclipse a couple of days from now. Okay? And I'm not saying that this is going to occur then, but I'm saying that will be the trigger, because this is our outgoing energy and we see someone walking away from something. I don't know if this has been 8 months. This is usually 8 days. This is months. This is years. So the number 8 figures prominently in this. I don't know if that means something to you. But as we can see, the person is walking away, and they're doing so in the middle of the night. They're not even taking anything with them. They just got their little stick, their little coat, and they're gone. Okay? And this card is about not being satisfied with whatever it is that you've had and going in search of something that is more, if not emotionally satisfying, than perhaps spiritually satisfying. To me, this card always indicates someone leaving. And looking at this would be someone leaving in the middle of the night, just leaving and not saying anything. Okay? I don't have any court cards here except for him, so I can't look at him necessarily, per se. Okay? But where does that leave me? It leaves me the 8 of Wands, the 7 of Pentacles, the 10, the 2 10s, and the 8 of Cups, as they relate to the Hermit, the Lovers, and the Empress. Now, sometimes this card will come along to say, no matter how much effort that you put into something, if it's not working out, if it's still not making you happy, the only thing you can do is let it go. Okay? I'm just not exactly sure what this Empress has to do with it, because she's trying to tell me something else, and I can't quite pick it up. But if you'll look, as I said, no matter how I look at it, the knighting, it doesn't look good. Okay? So let's go ahead and we're going to take the cards in the order in which they fell. So that means we'll start with the Eight of Wands. But you know, if something's going to go bad, if a relationship's going to go bad, it's still okay to be the Empress. This is my future column. You know what I mean? It's like as though you're not really losing anything. Maybe your place or your sense of self. That's, I think, the word that I'm looking for. That is Venus. She's not just the goddess of love and beauty, but she's also the goddess of harmony, right relationships, and negotiations. Okay, Eight of Wands. Right relationships, really, that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so 2 eights implies that there's a slight concern in regards to a new romance, relationship, or partnership. 3 eights tell of anxiety, hassles, obstacles, and delays. Okay, the Eight of Wands with the Lovers. It is an indication that genuine love and affection is around you. It tells of the future being discussed and promises given and made. It implies that there is a genuine warmth, companionship, and honest conversations. You are asked to appreciate it and make the most of it. Again, it says there are promises to be made and kept. Well, I don't know if this is the idea that maybe the guy is like stationed overseas or something like that, and he has to leave. You know what I mean? Maybe because he's working, trying to make money. This just doesn't look good to me. Okay? We're going to go to the Seven of Wands. I'm sorry, the Seven of Swords. Let's see here. Seven of Swords doesn't tell me anything. You know, it could be implying that you are carrying a heavy load or burden on your shoulders. Same kind of meaning as this card. It speaks about that dealings may be dishonest or not straightforward and direct. So that goes back to that, you know, slight concern that you may have. It brings a message to be particularly aware of all proceedings and to remain cautious. It can imply that maybe you or others are feeling obligated to behave in ways that are not direct, but which you accept, hoping that the end will justify the means. It may be warning you that your plans will not work out at this time due to circumstances beyond your control. Therefore, you may need to look for alternative options and means. It says, if your plans do not work out, you should not look to place blame on others, but rather look to yourself for reasons for the failure. It may also indicate that the most likely cause of failure is hasty actions and a lack of focus and concentration. It tells of the possibility of tension, arguments, disagreements, and misunderstandings within a current situation. And again, yes, it can imply that somebody may be spying or delving into things that aren't their business. It says that you need to be upfront and honest, otherwise you're going to be caught out. That's what it says. Sometimes it can tell of a surprise or an unexpected opportunity. I don't see the unexpected opportunity, and I don't see a surprise here. Nothing jumps out at me like, oh, surprise. Nothing. 10 of Swords. And that's interesting because we go from the 7 to the 10. That's 3 swords. Heartbreak, sorrow, disappointment, bitterness. 10 of Swords with the Hermit. It indicates that a great deal of thorough examination and consideration is needed prior to taking on future activities and plans. There is a need for deep thought and contemplation. It is a message to consider all future activities before taking any action. Well, It may be indicating that plans have been unsuccessful and dreams shattered with the collapse of a project which was difficult to accept. It may be implying that a job and or social position may be in jeopardy. It may even suggest a separation or severance of ties with a relationship. It is warning you to take the utmost caution when undertaking any new ventures at this time, particularly if you will be dealing with people who you do not know well or at all. This can lead to feelings of distrust and suspicion, and these feelings within you may be warranted. So look closely at all avenues and from all angles, and only proceed if you feel it is the right thing to do. It could be depicting a trap or ambush-like situation and tells of unexpected negative occurrences. 10 of Wands. I don't know what this is, Sagittarius. Now, I said the eclipse. Events are triggered by eclipses trigger events. But this could be, 2 months from now, sometimes 6 months from now. The timing of this card is the 13th of December to the 23rd of December. So right around Christmas. But this is definitely telling me that it's triggered by the eclipse. It is a card which tells of changes all around, and it tells you to reassess your plans and options. Aspects may need to be reassessed and reorganized before proceeding. It tells you to prepare yourself to be calm and strong in the face of unexpected events or situations so that you are able to deal with them accordingly. And then we come to the 8 of Cups. Well, this is a good, with the Hermit. It tells of inner realization and positive self-analysis and inner joy being your reward. I think this is why you show up, continue to show up as the Empress, even though all of this is happening. You are asked to move forward in your life and to let issues of the past heal. Do not dwell on difficulties, hardships, or perceived barriers, as this will hinder your progress. Well, the 8 of Cups indicates that the decision has been made to move on and leave the past behind. You may have been caught up in events or war, or are involved in a situation that may be costly and complicated. You may cut all ties with the events and will not give them a thought once they are in the past. I think this card is telling you to just keep on keeping on. It implies that long laid plans have come to a halt and you may feel stuck. It may be indicating the decline of a matter, slight consequences, withdrawal, and or abandonment. This may prompt you to try something new. Think carefully before going back to established plans, as you may wish to abandon them entirely or amend and adapt your goals to suit the situation better. This card asks that you evaluate your life and lifestyle choices and then make the appropriate changes. The 8 of Cups indicates that the old ways are no longer working for you and it is time to make some sweeping changes. Once you have made the decision to move on, your attention will turn to seeking happiness and fulfillment. You will feel that a load has been lifted and you will be filled with renewed enthusiasm and optimism. This card indicates a situation where the only solution is to let go entirely. Regardless of how much energy or effort has been put into it, if it is still not working, then the only option is to abandon it. Do not waste any more of your time and or effort. Yes, the card carries with it a sense of sadness, resignation, and acceptance. But sometimes all you can do is walk away. Okay? Now, I don't know exactly. First thing I'm going to do is look at this guy. Okay? And I just get this sense. I feel that you know him. I don't know if maybe most of your interactions perhaps have been online. Okay? A lot of people, you know, we're busy. We're separated for many reasons. I think I hear someone asking me, well, is he really single? I think he's really single. But we shall see. The Belvedere, you are waiting for this guy to either arrive or to hear from him. This card indicates waiting and looking and all of the emotions that go along with that, a bit of anxiety. But the card also counsels that while you're waiting for the imminent arrival of someone or something, that you take a good long look at yourself first, okay, while you're waiting. Do some self-introspection. Fortuna. Well, now, this is an interesting card. It does represent luck. It represents good things. It represents, in a sense, kind of a divine protection. However, well, I'll go back to it. And the Gran Consolazione. So, to me, this is somebody who is looking for their luck to change. Okay? I don't know if that's him or if that's you. Because this person is dreaming of all kinds of riches and peace and, you know, there's marriage, there's relationships, there's finances, there's peace of mind. But again, as I say, you show up as the Empress and he shows up as the King. So, I don't know, maybe he's trying to get with you because you got more than him. I don't know. And that might be something you might need to consider. Right? We're going to lay 3 cards across this middle row here. The Lovers, the Seven of Swords, and the Empress. This will tell us if maybe he really is married. I think he's single. I really think he's single. I think some of you are not certain. The casa, the house. The house is not just a building, but is a place of sanctuary. What goes on behind closed doors. La donna de servizio, a wealthy home. This is what this tells me. And the allegrezza al cuore, perhaps a wealthy home for an engagement. Wanting to be together and have a happy life. Okay, well that's fine too. But what's happening here? So let's just pull. I'm going to pull cards on this Ten of Swords. The rest of it's explanatory. Yes, a wealthy home. Again, the Empress. So I keep saying this guy's not in your league. The Messaggere. Ah, he showed up upside down. The Letterato. And the Melancholia. Now remember when I was describing to you his temperament, you know, he's deep thinker, really sharp intellectually. Okay. That's kind of this guy. Okay, and the same way, it's kind of him, but he's appeared to us reversed. And he's not a nice person when he's reversed. So, I don't know if this is the guy comes, you guys spend time together, and then suddenly you see a different side of him. You see that sadness? Some kind of news from far away. Message. Here. Okay, the Leterato. And he is the 7. Here he is, reversed. It indicates someone not to be trusted because the person has an ulterior motive. It depicts a cold-blooded person without scruples who will do anything to get what they want. The person can plot an elaborate revenge down to the finest detail and wait years until the time is right to act. It represents an extremely selfish and calculating person. Broadly speaking, this card denotes a lack of inspiration, sterility in more than one area of life, and feeling that one has chosen the wrong profession and or field of study. Financially, it points to a business that has reached an impasse and that serious decisions as to its future need to be made carefully. On a personal level, it denotes a lack of self-esteem, dejection, and the wrong use of one's mind, which can vary from not being organized enough to putting one's intelligence to evil ends. In this instance, especially if it's followed by a negative card, it could point to a dangerous psychopath. The message here is to be wary of this person. The card also warns of a promise that will not be kept and trouble in the relationship. Usually one partner has fallen out of love with the other, or is seeing someone else, or is taking advantage of the other person in a calculating way. Well, I mean, I didn't have to pull that card to say that this person is not in your league. And so when I put this down, these 3 cards, and I said, well, you know, maybe the person's like, oh yeah, my boat done come in now. I met this rich chick. You know, she got this fine home. Okay. So I caution you to be careful. I caution you to trust whatever your instincts are telling you. Okay. And, you know, sometimes this card can indicate somebody who doesn't have a high position at work. Does that make any sense? But the person's making money or attempting to make money, okay? And has been doing it for a while. So I would suspect that you would not be the first person he's tried this with. All right? So do be careful. All right, formulate your question for the Golden Nostradamus. Quite interesting. This card on the bottom here wants to come out. Okay, that's the one I'm going to take. It is the key. It is the key. While the downcast are fast asleep, like the blissful, they have no need to weep. This card announces the opening of new doors, many opportunities, and overall improvements in the quality of life and good fortune. Open yourself to new possibilities. You will be lucky. Well, I don't know if that's about him or if it's about you, in the sense that if you're seeing this reading and you recognize the situation and you have been forewarned, you will be lucky to walk away from this person without any damage. The fact that you continue to show up as the Empress tells me pretty much that that's so. And, you know, watch your purse, watch your stuff. Don't spend a lot of money trying to impress the person. You know, make them stay at a hotel. I wouldn't even let them in my house. So that's what I have for you. My dogs are all in here. What, Luke? You want to say hi? Say hi. Say hi. None. 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 You want to say hi? You want to say hi? All right, get out. And so that's all I have to say. Until then, be well, stay safe, and namaste. Bye.